So this is a general message for those people that want to and are thinking about coming onto my cryptocurrency webinar on the 20th, which is a Sunday this month, which is December. And you've got to understand why I'm doing this recording, this voice recording, even though I've given you an in-depth explanation as to what it is, the power it is that is cryptocurrency. Now, one of the things I must emphasize is that when you deposit the money in your own bank account, you are not the legal guardian of that money. Now, what that means is that when you have deposited that money, the bank will take custodialship over that money. And this happens through the name that is generated when you sign up for an account. Because if you notice, the name does not match, the name on your bank account does not match the name that you open the bank account of. So, for example, my name is full colon Mark Kishon Christopher, or let's just say Mark Christopher. They will write that as MK Christopher, or they might write it as Mark K Christopher, or they just might write it as Mark K Christopher. They'll write it in all manner of formats. This tells you that the name was generated by them, and because it was generated by them, it comes under a trademark, and that trademark is owned by the bank. So that's one of the ways that they actually try to take custodialship over your deposit, your money, as well as the bank account itself, because you are not the legal owner of the bank account. That's why it says on your card that this card, this debit card, this credit card, or whatever card it is the owner of it is actually the bank itself. Okay, so the card can be withdrawn from you anytime that they wish. And that's what they're saying to you. And this happens thousands of times a day. It's just the general public is not aware of it. Okay, now, when you do sign a bank agreement to open a bank account or take out a loan or a mortgage, but within that bank account, within that mortgage agreement, within that loan agreement, within that credit card agreement, there is what is known as a general power of attorney. The general power of attorney, the general word, simply means that you are not allowed to make any decisions upon your life. That means they will make all the decisions, whether it's your wife, your children, the school that you go to, the government, whatever it is. They have got you to sign away the general powers decision, which means you cannot even make your own decision when you are in hospital. And you've got to understand how precarious a situation this really is. Can you imagine that I come along and ask you to sign a piece of document, and that document gives me total and utter say in everything that goes on in your life? And what do you think a mortgage agreement really is in the backdrop of what I have just said? Well, it's very simple. It's a death pledge. A mortgage agreement is a death pledge. And because it's a death pledge, they have quite literally pledged, well, you have pledged everything that is in your life into their hands. This is also true for credit cards, student loans, as well as loans itself. Okay? Now, when you buy a condominium, when you sign the leasehold, the solicitor or the lawyer for that has actually put in a general power of attorney, which means just because you've hired a flat or a house or a garage or whatever it is, or a farm, or even a car, an HP agreement, it gives them a general power of attorney. The specific power of attorney usually deals with specific things within an agreement. For example, if it's only pertaining to a car, that only make judgments according to the car itself and nothing else, which is seldom nowadays. You look at your mortgage agreement, you look at your loan agreements, your tenement agreements, your rental agreements, your farm agreements. It says that you are not even the tenant, and also that you might be the tenant even though you own it outright. And read a little bit further on And on that document, it will say this is giving them specific or general power of attorney. The general power of attorney is one of the most precarious, the most disgusting position a human being can get themselves into, because it means they have 100% control of your banks, your house, your farm, your children, your education, and the rest of it. They are basically saying that you are incompetent to deal with your own affairs. Like, for example, that somebody that is grievously ill, not grievously ill, somebody that is ill, okay, and is able to conduct their own affairs, and they get you to do a general power of attorney where you can, as the wife or children, make some medical decisions upon them. If you don't, then the hospital does that on your behalf. And this is also something you have to understand. And what that document is saying is that because you did not tell them that you are not going to give them a power of attorney or a specific or a general power of attorney, under tacit agreement, they have decided to write it in and just leave it in there because you did not strike it out. And that's called a strikeout. Okay. Now, what more can I possibly say in terms of the specific power of attorney? Not very much, because I've covered it. What more can I possibly say about the general power of attorney? Would you sign a general power of attorney just because you're taking out a mortgage or a credit card? If the answer is no, then you've just signed away your life, whether you like it or not. And the power of agreement, yes, the power of agreement is within every mortgage document, every loan agreement, okay? And this is all first-hand knowledge using their own documents, not ours, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, you got to be in control of your own financial position. So I'll repeat that again. You have to be in 100% control of your banking. And that is what cryptocurrency does. Because you are the custodian of your money. You have not signed away of a general power of attorney on the terms and agreements. And I'll review the terms and agreements with you guys to make sure on the day of the webinar that you're not actually signing away your agreement, because you have the ability to strike out, which is all part of where is your terms and conditions, which you can find on my website. So I hope this has been hard hitting. This has woken you up as to how precarious you are, and I hope that you understand why I go to the lengths and breadths that I do to share this type of information with you folks. So until the 20th, this month, which is December, 8 p.m. UK time, and I've forgotten what the US time is, but there will be hundreds of people joining us. I'll see you then, and I wish you all the best, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye now.